Hey everybody, my name's Tim. This is my 2020 Shelby GT500 carbon fiber track pack behind me. This video is about draining the fluid and replacing both filters in the Tremec dual clutch transmission found in these cars. First up, a shout out to Jeff, the parts guy at Milton Ford. His email address is below. I got all these parts and the fluid from Jeff. If you use the Shelby Flyer discount code, you'll get cost plus 10%. Jeff will look up parts numbers for you and hook you up. Okay, so this car has about 16,500 miles, a lot of track miles. It's on its second transmission. I got the transmission replaced, I think somewhere around 9,000 miles if I remember correctly. I did replace the filters in the first transmission with my help from Carrie, my Shelby Guru buddy. This one is a solo DIY project. I think you'll find this video much more concise because now I know the process, filming exactly what you need to know. And I'm going to discuss why I'm swapping out the filters. There is a Ford protocol on when you swap out one of the filters. We'll get into that, as well as a surprise at the end. I cut open both of the filters that I removed from this car. We take a look and see what we find on the inside. So here we go. Thanks for watching. To start us off, we're going to take a look at the maintenance schedule. Ford recommends changing the side filter every 40,000 miles. However, the main pan filter is listed as not needing to be serviced. So you might be asking why I changed out both filters. My car is mostly used at the track. I have battled transmission overheats. The likely causes of transmission overheats are your cooler, number one there in the diagram, is plugged, needs to be cleaned out, link above. Second likely cause is low transmission fluid. All these transmissions come low from the factory. This video will also show you how to fill your transmission fluid. But other causes can be reduced flowing filters, and that's why I changed out both filters. You will need 3 boxes of parts plus transmission fluid. Don't forget cost plus 10% on all OEM Ford parts at Milton Ford with the Shelby Flyer discount code. Jeff, the parts guy, will look up part numbers for you and hook you up with the discount. That's where I got all my stuff. Time to talk tools for the job. You're going to need an inch-pound torque wrench, 8mm, 10mm sockets, T45 Torx bit, 8mm hex bit and wrench, blue thread locker, 2 flathead regular screwdrivers, a fluid pump to push fluid up into the transmission, gloves, transmission assembly glue, and a light duty impact gun is helpful. And here we go. After you get the car up in the air, first step is going to be to drain the fluid. The manual calls for the transmission to be in neutral. I've never done that. I just keep it in park. And also plan ahead. If you plan to use the remote start to top off your fluid later, you're going to need to have your hood down, and it's a good idea to have your air conditioning turned off so it's not dripping water while it's running. Use a 6mm hex to remove the plug on the drain pan. I did this project with the car cold, easier to work on when you don't have hot exhaust or hot transmission. And if you notice this collection pan here, I have a tall oil collector that goes down into a bin, but I wanted to be able to measure exactly how much fluid came out, so I bought this separate bin on Amazon. I recommend holding off for a bit on the secondary drain plug until you disconnect the cooler line that goes up there. That's coming up here in the next step as we attack the side filter, but getting access to that plug is much easier with that line slightly moved. The workshop manual directs you to remove the bracket that holds the cooler lines on the passenger side. I didn't remove the whole bracket, I just removed the 2 bolts that I'm pointing to right there, and that allows some play in those lines. Next, remove the heat shielding on the driver's side. There is a 10mm nut up front and 2 8mm bolts farther back. There is a single 8mm bolt on each cooling tube that needs to be removed. This will allow you access to the filter housing, as well as dropping down the rear one will allow easier access to that drain plug. When you remove the secondary drain plug, quite a bit of fluid comes out initially and then it tapers off rather quickly. To make it easier getting the filter housing out, I disconnected this cannon plug and then covered the end in plastic to keep fluid off of it. Next up, remove the 3 bolts that hold the filter housing to the transmission. They're either 8 or 10mm. To remove the side filter housing, use the 2 supplied extractor bolts that come with the new filter. T45 Torx bit, I just used my hand and turned each screw about a 1/4 turn. Keeps it coming out straight and doesn't jam it in the housing. After the extractor bolts pull the housing out past the detent for the O-ring, then you can just reach up and grab the whole thing and pull it out with your hand. Be prepared for fluid and be ready to catch it. Next, pull the filter off of the filter housing. You'll feel the detent release there, and this shows the schematic of the entire assembly. Replace the O-ring, and I cleaned up in there this receiver area just to make sure that the cooling tube fully seats in there. Lubed up the O-ring on the filter itself, pushed it in while twisting, and you can feel it seat into a detent. Make sure it's fully seated. Lubed up the O-ring on the filter housing, and now going to twist that back into its spot. All right, I put a little transmission assembly lube on these tubes here. Put them back up in there, tighten these. These are 8mm, tighten those to 89 inch-pounds. And these are 10mm, these bracket bolts here, tighten those also to 89 inch-pounds. I did clean up the threads and put new blue Loctite on all 4 of those. The most challenging part of this project you need 2 sets of hands. I just had my son help me. So there's a locking tab right here. We're already past it right now. There's another locking tab up top over here. Let's see if I can zoom in up there to see in the dark. Maybe I can move a light right up there. You need to press those in with quite a bit of force, and then you need to press this whole cannon plug forward towards the front of the car, towards the engine, to get it past those locking tabs, which it is now. I wanted to do that before I dropped the trans pan, just so that this is held firmly in place. Didn't need a 3rd set of hands to hold this in place while we're pressing on those, get those to release. Now that that's forward of those locking tabs, it's going to come out from the inside once I drop the trans pan. I used an impact driver to remove the bolts holding the transmission pan up. If you use a driver, be careful, those bolts will be a little warm. All right, got the pan filter out. These are magnets here that collect debris. I gave them a good wiping with paper towel. I also went down, and if I can zoom in here, into these grooves here with paper towel and this, pushing it down into the grooves. A lot of debris down in there. There's also, I'm assuming it's the adhesive, kind of a jelly, kind of gooey stuff that was around the magnet there. Obviously not good for the filter there. I'm sure some of that got stuck on the filter. But this is after cleaning the magnet. Now I'm going to take this outside and spray it down with brake clean, get it good and clean, get all that debris off there, and then work on reinstall it. Now don't forget, also have to take this gasket, kind of a big O-ring off. We can do this one-handed. Yeah, I'll need 2 hands for that, but this gasket's got to come off. Got a new one down inside that box right there, and that O-ring there is for the electrical connector right here that goes on there. That's still on the car. Brake clean actually worked like a champ. Got that magnet looking all shiny new clean, all the debris out of there, cleaned the whole pan. I used a pick to get the gasket out from around the edge there. Got the new gasket that'll go in there. I'll put the new filter in. Got that right here. Put that in. And the 3 screws there, they're just coarse threads into plastic. You just go snug on those. No torque setting on that. Got the 3 screws snug down on the transpan filter, putting in the gasket now. There is a shape to it, so just follow the contours there. You can see that little curved part around this pickup here. And then this is the long side, that's the shorter side. But there you go. Press it down in. Got the gasket in. There's little tabs on it. You got to press those down into the slot. And I ran my finger around all the way around the outside to make sure it's fully seated. And I got to use some trans lube to lube this up prior to assembly, as well as the electrical connector that gets pushed through here. And this gets a new O-ring, which is right here. And oh, by the way, there are new bolts for the trans pan that have the Loctite on them. Need to replace the O-ring on the cannon plug here. I'm just using a pick. There we go. All right, next up, we got to lube this up and the pickup in the trans tube filter, trans pan filter tube. And reinstall. All right, got to put some trans lube, trans insulation lube on the O-ring and this cannon plug so that it pushes through and doesn't get all bound up. Also going to put some lube on the pickup tube from the trans pan filter. Now I need to push this cannon plug through. Get it to snap into place. Locked. And that's the orientation. The 2 prongs are kind of up towards the passenger seat. All right, I got my impact. I'm just gonna start the 4 corners with this. I don't recommend tightening with these because these would be easy to strip out. So, got to get the trans tube up in there. Pickup tube, which I did. There we go. Now I'm going to do them all by hand. All right, 71 inch-pounds. Went around a couple times, verified all the torque, did it all by hand because I didn't want to strip any of these little bolts out that go into the aluminum transmission. And now this cannon plug goes on 90-degree twist. So I can do this one-handed. There we go. That should do it. I got to put my heat shield back on and fill it with fluid, check for leaks. Use a number 8 hex key to open up the fill port that you see there. The engine cold will take maybe 5 or so, maybe a little bit more liters, and then you need to run it and top it off again. Run your engine 5 to 10 minutes. I always just use 7 minutes. And then top off your transmission fluid again. If you're going to use remote start with it up on the lift, your hood's got to be closed. And it helps to have your air conditioning off so it's not dripping all down there. Since I got my car down low, I just climbed into it and started, with the push button start. All right, just topped it off for the second time. So that's the drain plug up there. And after you run the car, you gotta be careful because here's the hot exhaust. I use gloves because you will touch your hand against that. So I ran it for a little over 7 minutes. I've got the car slightly angled towards the passenger side. Got a couple spacers there, one spacer over here. So it's ever so gently angled towards the passenger side. Put the fill port slightly higher. It took maybe another 1.25 liters to a half, something like that. I'd have to measure it out exactly here on my empty jugs. But this is what I use to fill with. I have one of these pumps here, gear lube pump kind of thing, or just a bottle pump. That's a lot more cumbersome, especially, trying to work up higher. This worked pretty well. This is just I use this to suck brake fluid out, but it's all clean now. This is just a big syringe, and use that to push up the fluid. Worked pretty great. So everything's done, tight. I just gotta do some cleanup and reinstall the heat shield. All right, let's talk fluid. This is how much I took out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a little over 5.5 liters. So this is how much I put into the transmission. One of these was open, only had about 800 milliliters out of the 1,000, or 0.8 of a liter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.8, we'll call it, went back into the transmission. Well, that'll do it. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to reach out to Jeff at Milton Ford. He'll hook you up with cost plus 10%. This is Shelby Flyer discount code. Thanks for watching. See you next time.